Hello and welcome to episode number 111 of AV's Ripping Wax Packs podcast, coming to you from Searcy, Arkansas. I'm your host, Aaron Vaughn. This is the show where we rip open a wax pack every week and discuss that year and brand of card along with the players in the pack that we open. Along the way, we'll shout out some of your comments as listeners, discuss nostalgic stories about cards or players that come to mind, and spread the pure joy that comes with ripping open wax packs. Also, we will have a weekly segment called Kurt Facts, when my brother Curtis researches some players from the previous episode and shares those interesting facts on with y'all. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, Google Podcasts, and most podcast platforms. New episodes drop every Thursday. Our Twitter handle is @RippingWaxPacks. Our email is rippingwaxpacks@gmail.com. Our Facebook page is Ripping Wax Packs. And on YouTube, just type in AV's Ripping Wax Packs to see the part of the podcast where we rip open the pack from the podcast. We're always looking to promote veterans charities, so contact us through one of the outlets I just mentioned, and we'd be happy to discuss a partnership to help veterans and their families in any way that we can, or just help you figure out how to give your time or finances any way that you can to help out veterans and their families. Also, please give a listen to our sister podcast, CVs Tend to Check Out, music podcast produced by Curtis and me that comes out once a month, sharing the joy of music and hoping to help listeners discover unfamiliar bands or songs they might want to look further into. Check it out right after you listen to this podcast and like, review, and subscribe. Remember, for both podcasts, if you comment, like, subscribe, or review, your name will be put into a random drawing for free prizes each episode. For AV's Ripping Wax Packs podcast, you will receive cards from the podcast and free wax packs. For CVs Tend to Check Out, you will receive some kind of prize that has to do with music. Join in on the fun. This week we have I wanted to give a special shout out to Bill Harrington. He sent me a Facebook message that said he actually was the winner of the random card drawing. He said, "Cards were awesome. I followed you on Facebook. I'll check out the podcast too." I think he had bought some cards from me at some point and liked something that we had on here, so his name got in there. And then this is his wife, Linda. He said, "When Linda said something was due from Arkansas, I had no idea what it was. A wonderful surprise for an old senior citizen." So I'm not saying he's old, but he must be a little bit older than me. We've texted a little bit back and forth on Facebook. So appreciate your support there, Bill, and hope you enjoy the podcast. Also, we're going to start giving out our address. So if you want to send in any, I've done this the last few weeks, if you want to send in a pack that you want ripped open, or a box or anything like that, you could send it to 149 Emerald Lake Drive in Searcy, Arkansas, 72143. And we could help get your name out there. And if you even had some type of ad you wanted us to read on here, we would do that if you send us in a pack or two to open. We'd appreciate that. We do have plenty of packs left to bust open and talk about, but we could always use more for future episodes. So this week we'll be talking about 1994 Sportflics 2000. I had never seen these. I got these at a little place in Canal Fulton, Ohio, and just bought some packs that I hadn't seen and didn't have and wanted to use them for the podcast. It says Hobby Baseball on the front, just 8 cards per pack. There's another little pack we're going to open that's small, also that I'd never seen before, but it just has like one card, it looks like, in it, so I didn't want to make a whole episode on that one. So 1994 Sportflics 2000. I remember the Sportflics of the 80s, so this is a little bit later, so we're going to do a description of this, and then we're going to go into the Kurt Facts segment, and then we'll get back to this pack and open it on YouTube. So a little description of 1994 Sportflics 2000. It's a 193 card lenticular set released by Pinnacle Brands in April 1994. 193 cards. It's weird that it's that many cards. I don't know why. Not 200, 193, but whatever. This was the first Sportflics set in 4 years, so I guess they had stopped making them in, I think it was like maybe 1986 to 1990, something like that. And then they stopped doing it for a few years. It says cards number 176 to 193 make up the Starflics subset and feature an all-star type team printed on 3D cards. A distribution of these were hobby retail, were 24 packs per box, 8 cards per pack, and they were $189 per pack. Yikes. Retail blasters, 10 packs per box, 8 cards per pack. Each blaster promised 3 movers inserts, including Kirby Puckett and Tony Gwynn in those. We believe these were Walmart exclusives and released in late 1994 to liquidate unsold product. These can be seen as one of the earliest example of a blaster box. Yes, I didn't even know they had those then. And it talked about movers. There were these insert cards called movers and shakers. That's why I called the episode Movers and Shakers. So hopefully we'll find one of those. If we don't, that's okay. But there are also 2 SPs, which were short prints. And I looked down to see what the short prints were. It says these 2 cards were randomly inserted into packs as case hits. And here's who they were. There's no number on these. Cliff Floyd and Paul Molitor. It's funny that those were the short prints. Good players. I mean, Paul Molitor is an amazing hitter, one of the best right-handed hitters ever, and I think he's a Hall of Famer. So no disrespect to either guy, Cliff Floyd or Paul Molitor, but funny that those are case hits put into Sportflics. There were the shakers, the movers I told you about. There were Starflics that I said actually before. There's a couple rookie cards, but there are nobody to speak of really. There's also a 4-card set that was a promo set that was distributed to hobby dealers to preview the upcoming return of Sportflics. The word sample is printed on both sides of each card. Additional copies of the Lenny Dykstra card were distributed by Walmart greeters around the time of the product's release. So when people were coming in, the Walmart greeter would have a Lenny Dykstra card to give you, say, hey, buy the Sportflics packs. That's pretty funny. And those cards and the 4 cards were Lenny Dykstra, Javi Lopez, Greg Maddux, and a no-numbered Sportflics 94 hobby baseball ad card. So that's a little bit about 1994 Sportflics 2000. And if you don't know what these are, you want to watch the YouTube part. It's like they're kind of, you hold the card a certain way and it shows the player in different positions is what I remember them as. So hopefully I'm saying the same thing. They're saying the right thing about them. And they're thicker. It's probably why they're are more expensive. But these never seem to be worth anything, I guess, is what I'm thinking. Because I think you can still get a box of these for pretty cheap, even the 1986 and those earlier years of them. So that was a little description. And now we're going to turn it over to Curtis for the Kurt Facts segment. Then we'll get back to the pack and open it up. So take it away, Curtis.
Hey, y'all. It's CV here, bringing another episode of Kurt Facts. These cards were pulled from the 1993 Donruss triple play from episode 110. Don Mattingly was pulled and is a former first baseman who played from 1982 to 1995 for the Yankees. He holds the record for the most gold gloves by an AL first baseman at 9. His defense was so strong that from time to time he would play third base and even second base, even though he was left-handed. Although he is not in the Hall of Fame, his number has been retired by the Yankees, and he has a plaque in the Yankees Monument Park because he is so well regarded by the organization. Mattingly holds the record for the most Grand Slams in a single season with 6, most consecutive games with homers with 8, and most consecutive games with extra base hits at 10. He also had such a great eye that he never struck out more than 43 times in a season while routinely getting 500 to 600 at-bats in a season. For example, in his 1985 MVP season, he had 652 at-bats and only struck out 41 times. He actually finished his career with more walks than strikeouts. His career most likely would have been longer, but a back injury turned him from a power-hitting run producer into a slap hitter for the last 5 seasons of his career. A 6-time All-Star who won the 1985 AL MVP, he finished his career compiling lifetime stats of a .307 average, which is just outside the top 100 all-time, 1,007 runs scored, which is 333rd all-time, 2,153 hits, which is 204th all-time, 442 doubles, just outside the top 100, 222 homers, 300th all-time, 1,099 ribbies, 216th all-time. He was well known for his humility and grace as a player and as a manager. He is no longer eligible for the Hall of Fame ballot, but could still be inducted by the Contemporary Baseball Era Players Committee and was on their short list in 2022, but failed to gain enough votes. Ken Griffey Jr. was also polled, and although I already did a bit on him for a previous episode, I thought I'd just reiterate his unbelievable career. He's a former outfielder and is a Hall of Famer that played 22 seasons, mostly with the Seattle Mariners and the Cincinnati Reds. Nicknamed the Kid, he was one of the most prolific home run hitters ever and also was known as an outstanding defender, evidenced by winning 10 Gold Gloves for his defense in center field. When he was inducted into the Hall of Fame, he received 99.32% of the votes, which is a record. But I really want to know the knuckleheads that didn't vote for him. I just don't understand how anybody could not have voted for him. In the later years of his career, injuries took a toll, or we likely would have been talking about him possibly breaking the all-time homer record. He was a 13-time All-Star who won the AL MVP in 1997 and finished his career with a .284 average, 2,781 hits, which is 53rd all-time, 1,662 runs scored, which is 33rd all-time, 524 doubles, which is 47th all-time, 630 homers, which is 7th all-time, and 1,836 ribbies, which is 17th all-time. And finally, Aaron had pulled Mike Greenwell and mentioned that he had some good years, and that's true. He's a former outfielder who played his entire 10-plus year career with the Boston Red Sox. I thought this was funny. He earned the nickname Gator when during spring training early in his career, he captured an alligator, taped its mouth shut, and put it in Ellis Burke's locker. He was a solid and reliable player who was well respected and eventually inducted into the Red Sox Hall of Fame. A two-time All-Star, he finished his career compiling a .303 batting average, 1,400 hits, 275 doubles, 130 homers, and 726 ribbies. So that's all for now. We'll talk to you next time.
All right. Thanks, Kurt. Always appreciate your Kurt Facts segment. It's enjoyed by all. And now we will open the 1994 Sportflics 2000 pack over on YouTube. So go over there as you're listening to the podcast and check out the YouTube portion so you can see the pack that we bust. All right. Our winner for the cards from this pack and or some cards from this pack and some other free wax packs is Tim Widener. Man, he's my buddy. I think he won some packs at some point. I think he put something on Twitter about him. Might have been a year ago or so. Episode 111. So Tim, you're going to get some packs. Thanks again for your support. So it's always good to support the podcast. You know, there's been people that have gotten cards more than once. So your name's always in that drawing. So here's our 1994. It says 94 right there. If you're looking on YouTube. Sportflics 2000 hobby baseball, all different colors of to get your attention there. You got red, some gold, purple, white. It says hobby baseball with a baseball and a kind of a silhouette of a hitter there. 8 cards per pack, and it's thick. They're pretty thick, and they're seems like it takes a lot to make these cards. They're pretty heavy, and then on the back there's a bunch of mumbo jumbo on there, and we're going to go ahead and open that up. We also have this little pack. I'm not sure even what's in it. It says Coca-Cola presents Denny's Grand Slam 1993, made by 1993. It says made by Upper Deck 1993. So we're going to open that one just to see what's in there because it's small. And this is a pack with only 8 cards. So let's open this up, see what we got. All right, so if you've never seen a Sportflics card, I know most of you have if you're watching or you're listening, but if you're looking on YouTube, it's kind of in kind of I don't know if you'd say 3D card, but you hold it different ways. Hope you can see that. This is Carl Everett. It's got him in, looks like 3 different poses. I'm kind of trying to show you. Shows him swinging a bat. It's all different. 1, 2, 3. Maybe it's just 2 poses. 1, 2. Yeah, just 2 poses in this one. says Carl Everett, and it all moves around. It's kind of neat how they do this. These first came out, I can remember buying these and thought they were so cool, and they never seem to sell for much. I could be wrong. So, and this says Carl Everett. So this looks like it's actually a rookie. It says rookie at the bottom, and there's no border or anything. It's just like a card that is in 3D, I guess is what you'd say. So there's Carl Everett on the back. It does have all his stats on it, it looks like. Minor league and major league. I'm wondering if they're all like that. Yeah, it looks like it has most of their stats on it. At least his does. And then it says a little bit about Carl. It has another picture of him on the back. So actually, I think these are pretty cool, actually, especially for a kid. Back whenever I was, 12, 13 years old. All right. Next we have, Wade Boggs. So there's a Wade Boggs card. Looks like it shows him. Yeah, it just shows him in 2 poses. I was thinking there were 3 poses on the older ones. So this is him from the New York Yankees. His doesn't have all the stats. It has like his last 5 years, because I know his rookie was, 1983 was his rookie card. So 82 is his rookie year, and it only has back to 1989 on this card. So he was with the Red Sox there. Here he is with the Yankees. And a little picture of him on the back. So Wade Boggs, Devon White. 1, 2, yeah. Looks like there are just 2 pictures. That's pretty neat. Next we have John Burkett. Him pitching there. Roberto Alomar. Oh, this one looks a little different. Maybe this is a different type of card. This could be this is a Sportflics. So this is a little different. So here, this one has it shows them in 2 different poses. This one has a little, looks like it's got a glove that, I don't know if you can see it from YouTube, but it kind of sticks out at you like in 3D. And it says Sportflics. So this is a special insert card. We got a special insert Roberto Alomar Sportflics card. Pretty cool. Looks different on the back. Just a little bit about him with none of his yearly stats. So that's cool. We got the old Sportflics insert. Next, we have Jay Buhner. Jay Buhner had some good years. That guy could hit some monster shots, had a great arm. We have Tony Phillips. And looks like Matt Williams. Matt Williams there. So it's pretty cool there. All right. So there's our 1994 Sportflics 2000. I don't know why it's called the 2000. But somebody could write it and tell us that. Here's another little pack. So it says Coca-Cola presents Denny's Grand Slam 1993 Upper Deck. So we're going to open that just to see what's in there. See what we got. Boy, I really didn't want you to get in these. To get out my scissors, maybe. Get these up. No, I got it. All right, so open that up and see what's in there. So we have a little card to try to keep it in good condition, I guess. And it's 1 card, a collector's series. It says Eddie Murray from the Mets, limited edition down the side. Pretty cool looking card there. 1993 Upper Deck, and it says 15 of 28. So you could collect 28 of these, I guess, from Grand Slam Denny's. I don't know if you get these, if you go to Denny's, you got these or what. Has a little bit about his career on the back. So that's pretty cool. At the time, 1993, during this junk wax era, they were giving away these, it looks like, at Denny's. All right, so there's our cards that we opened today. Thanks for flipping over to YouTube, and we're going to go and finish up the episode. All right, thanks for listening, everyone. Remember, you can contact us in the following ways. Our Twitter handle is @RippingWaxPacks. Our email is rippingwaxpacks@gmail.com. Our Facebook page is Ripping Wax Packs. And on YouTube, just type in AV's Ripping Wax Packs to see the part of the podcast where we rip open the pack from the podcast. Remember to check out our other podcasts. CVs tend to check out a music podcast that comes out once a month. And we're always looking to promote veterans charities, so contact us to learn more about donating to veterans and their families. We appreciate that. Thanks to Curtis, always, for researching for the Kurt Facts segment. The listeners love to listen to you, Curtis. This has been AV's Ripping Wax Packs podcast. This is Aaron Vaughn. Thanking you for tuning in. Have fun, be safe, love one another, and keep God first in your life. Happy Easter. Have a good one.